down. Brake pedal on the floorboard. That tells me that the fluid has gotten hot. The brakes have gotten hot. I don't see any brake cooling on the opening of that 19 car. So as the fluid gets hot, the pedal gets long, and then the feedback of, hey, if you're pumping, so down the straightaway, Dale, if you're pumping the brakes to get a firm pedal, they want to make sure he takes his foot completely off it before he then goes to it at the start of the corner to make sure he has good brake application.
This track is actually harder on brakes than you would imagine. As large as it is, it looks like you can really sail the car down in the corner and have a lot of mid-corner speed. There's no grip. Mid-corner speed's really slow. You use a lot of brake to get the car slowed down to the center. And I think there's a bit of an underestimation of the heat and the humidity. Even today, the temperatures are relatively 20 degrees cooler than last year. It's still muggy hot down there and uncomfortable and difficult for these machines.
When you see right here in the telemetry how fast these cars are going, and we're going to see 170 plus at the end of the straightaway. The bright red kind of brake pedal will come on at the bottom of the screen, knocking speed, knocking what, over 40 miles an hour out of the car.
Let's go to Marty.
Adam, it seems to be a bit of a Toyota problem for the brake issues. Here was Tyler Reddick earlier in the race. Listen.
Pedal is getting spongy now, too. I understand. All right, have you moved bias? Yeah, I thought forward was worse. Copy. Go rearward then.
So that was Tyler Reddick saying the pedal is getting spongy. He also radioed to Billy Scott later on, Kim, and said the pedal also very inconsistent. Some corners I get like a quarter in the way of the brakes and it stops. Other corners it's taken almost all the brakes to get it to stop.
Well, Marty, you mentioned it might be a Toyota thing. We heard the issue with Briscoe. We just heard the issue with Tyler Reddick. The 54 of Ty Gibbs also complaining about brakes. About 20 laps ago said the brakes are starting to get really long. That pedal is just not what I need it to be.
12 of Blaney coming to pit road. A lot of talk about brakes, as you heard from all the reporters. That makes that pit entry even more difficult. You go to step on the brakes and you just don't have what you want. The 12 of Blaney was stuck behind some lap cars. Frustration was skyrocketing. Finally came to pit road. We'll see what kind of stop they have, Kim.
Yeah, the balance of that car just ill, not what Blaney wants. It fired off tight. Then he said, I had trouble turning in the center on throttle, but he felt like it was only through traffic, but ended that run tight also. So they'll look for it to free up just a little bit, Marty.
Kim, I checked in with Crew Chief Brian Wilson for Austin Cindric. I said, what about this move? He said, why not? We were in 15th before. They are going to wait on fuel.
On Hamlin to be on offense and defense. Byron to the bottom, Dale. Denny tries the top, does not work.
I think 24 is going to clear. Denny way up the racetrack, way out of the throttle. Yeah, that top's not an option. Probably won't try that again. So now the 24, Byron, is in position to try to steal the stage win away from Briscoe. Briscoe is sort of stuck right here, but behind the 5 of Larson.
Yeah, and Larson is doing everything he can to stand the lead lap because that's kind of his race. He knows.
Playoff point if you got it in you.
Playoff point. If you got it in you, refugal to William Byron, reminding him in 12 laps what is on the line.
He was undefeated in stages last weekend at Charlotte. Was William Byron. Won 2 in the Xfinity race. Went 3-0 Sunday night in the Coke 600 and trying to pounce again late here. Stage 1 at Nashville.
Yeah, 11 laps to go. A lot of time for Byron to move around. Surprised he's staying right on the bottom of the racetrack. Going to follow in that dirty air the 19. But the 19's stuck as well.
Well, and who, didn't get in was the 19. Pole sitter, got behind, recovered to 3rd.
Here we go.
The old age may look like.
Tremendous call for Jonathan Hassler on the pit box for Ryan Blaney. Someone else we need to give a call to in the top 10, Michael McDowell. Great qualifying effort yesterday. He is 7th. 4 to go in the stages. Byron works over Briscoe. That's for 3rd.
And he almost got to the outside of Briscoe. Now he's finally there down into turn 3. He's going to get side by side, but we've seen this corner just not provide the speed and grip. Can he stay on the outside? I believe he does. Going to use the momentum off the top down the front straightaway. Gets away so he can be set. Side draft. The 19 gets a little side draft right there. Holds him down in the corner side by side.
And after 51 laps led, the position's bleeding off for Briscoe with only a couple laps to go in the stage. Track position that he is going to want on the next restart.
On the other side of it, you've got William Byron comes in with a championship lead, and all he does is just keep adding those stage points to the bucket. Going to be 2 to go when we cross the start-finish line, this time in stage 1. Hamlin 3/10 in front of Reddick as Byron once again goes outside, and they're coming from behind. Those are some lap vehicles there, among them Riley Herbst in the 35.
Yeah, Riley Herbst and Bubba Wallace racing for the free pass. Bubba Wallace had the speeding penalty. He would love to be able to get by this 35 car.
That can be a different night, a different trajectory for Bubba Wallace if he can get his lap back here at the end of the stage. Speeding penalty forgiven if he can pull it off.
Final lap of the stage.
I think Denny's just in kind of protect mode right here. He's forgotten about trying to lap the 5. He would love to, but he's not going to get it done. He just wants to keep that 45 car behind him. I think he's going to do that easily. Reddick does have more speed, but he's just run out of laps here at the end of this stage.
Larson qualified 28th, had the slide early, dropped back outside the top 30. He's going to be able to stay on the lead lap. Denny Hamlin comes back to the green and white checkered flag. He wins the stage in front of Tyler Reddick. Briscoe, Byron, Bell, the top 5.
And a tip of the hat to Riley Herbst, who was able to hold off Bubba Wallace. Big move out of the 2311 driver in the 35 car.
Scored in the 28th position is Riley Herbst. For Denny Hamlin, 3rd stage win of the year. First time he's gotten it done since Martinsville when he went on to victory lane. Gorgeous night in Music City. We're racing at Nashville Super Speedway.